This will be the last response to Constant Truth, and apparently he doesn't really quite understand my video. I said I was poor when I was a kid, because when I was 5 or 6 years old, my parents didn't have that much money, but by the time I hit my teenage years, I was a middle class person. My family was middle class. We moved out of the ghetto, and that's just how it was. But when I was young, yeah, I lived in the ghetto, and I was a poor Mexican. Yeah, I lived in a poor Mexican neighborhood with gangs and violence and all that other shit. So, let me address the issues here. No, I wasn't the goth kid in high school who hated everything. Alright? No. You're getting ages mixed up here. You see, you were 15 or 16. This is obvious that you're an older man who forgot actually what ages, how different varying ages were. When you're 13 or 14 years old, it's awkward and fucking retarded as fuck, if you don't remember. You're going through puberty, hormones are raging like crazy, you're growing hair on your balls and shit, like, you're just mad at everything because you don't understand it, you know. That's just how it was. You were angry. You had issues. You were going through puberty. That's just natural. Natural anger, natural fucking hair growing everywhere, growing taller, not understanding the differences. That's just how it was when you were 13 or 14, no matter who you are. It was just puberty. And you made this point where you had all these accessories and stuff, but my issue is that the Super Nintendo one was only available in Japan, and you said you had it. So, did you have like a rich uncle that gave you a Super Famicom and a Japanese connection, and you were connecting through Nintendo's whatever the fuck they called it? Because I don't see how you could do that if you didn't have a Super Famicom. Just saying. And what exactly did you play on whatever the Sega service is called? I have a high doubts here because I don't believe that. I honestly don't believe that you had that kind of modem or whatever, because it was very expensive, and it was to the point where even if you were 16 or 17 years old, like you said you were, that it would cost you a lot more money than you could get from a simple job back then, adjusting for inflation and all that stuff. But the fact is that you get my 5 or 6 year old self confused with my 13 or 14 year self, and then compare it to your 16-year-old self. 13 or 14 is awkward years because you're moving out of high school. Your friends are probably moving classes. You're not gonna know. You're moving to a new school. It's awkward for everybody. Like, it's not like it has nothing to do with your family or where you're raised or whatever. You're going through puberty. You're growing hair on your balls. I mean, if you're a late bloomer, then that's okay. But I wasn't, because I was going through that very awkward period in between the 8th grade and 9th grade, where you were blooming, or whatever the fuck you'd like to call it, where you started liking girls more. Your hair starts growing on you. You see, you're, I think, like 27, 28. You just don't quite remember how awkward that phase of your life is. 15 or 16 is fine. 16, 17, those are great years. You're already grown up. You should be past or moving past puberty at that point, and you're growing into an adult. But 13 or 14, when the 360 came out like I was, nah, those are not good years. Not at all.